Hello and welcome to Eternal in 5. I'm RNG, and today we're going to be talking about the first of the 5 new mechanics that are included in the Flame of Zolta. The first of which to be revealed is Mastery. Allow me to preface this particular episode by saying that, honestly, I'm not very excited about any of the new mechanics in the Flame of Zolta, regardless of what they are, simply because this game already has a ton of mechanics that were only explored for a single set. And given that the Flame of Zolta is a small set, I'm expecting a similar pattern of mechanic is printed, it goes on a couple cards, they're split across all the colors and factions, so you don't really get any identity. And then it's just sort of pushed by the wayside and never seen again. And I think that's a shame because there's a lot of mechanics that are interesting and have a lot of design space, and instead, building a handful of constructed caliber cards in a new mechanic and then moving on to something else every set is, well, I think that's a bit of a shame. But it is what we have to work with, so let's move on to a discussion of what Mastery is in our latest mechanic. Mastery is a unit mechanic, and it is tied to a number, so you have Mastery 2, 8, whatever. You earn progress towards that mastery whenever that unit deals damage and survives. The survival is important and sets it apart from similar mechanics like Infiltrate. But the unit also doesn't care about the damage it deals. You can deal damage by attacking the opponent, dealing damage in combat through attacking or blocking, killer attacks, or something like a weapon or spell that would cause you to deal damage, like Ice Bow or um, that mentor card that deals damage equal to a unit's power. So a bunch of different ways to earn progress towards your mastery. You retain that progress when changing zones. So if you've, got 2 damage out of 8 onto your mastery, well, you still only need to deal 6 more with that particular unit for it to reach mastery. Once you deal that much damage, you immediately earn the mastery bonus, which has ranged, as far as we can tell, or as far as we've seen so far, from just basic stat bonuses, drawing cards, or, doing some kind of bonus to your cards in your deck. And finally, this mastery bonus resets in changing zones. So if you've reached the mastery, it resets. If you haven't, you retain your progress. So essentially all upside for what you're looking for. The problem is this mechanic is tied to damage, and some of the example cards show why this could be an issue. You've got Thunderclaw Raven, a card that you need to attack with and deal damage with 3 times in order to get the buff. Well, it's only a 2/1, so it's not going to be surviving a whole lot of combat without help. Reckless Combatant similarly needs Mastery 8, so either 4 attacks or some other kind of setup. Sword of Judgment is more interesting. You can put this on a 4/4, attack once, and instantly go up to a 9/9, but starting as a base +1/+1 isn't all that exciting, and even the payoff of +5/+5 vanilla for 4, um, not necessarily where you want to be. Now, I think a 4 power +5/+5 weapon would be more more likely to see play, but these cards are mainly for draft. The constructed plant is this Akko inspired artist, and unfortunately, I don't know if that's going to get there. It is a 1-cost 1/1, which is not a good start. For Mastery 1, you get a a +1/+2 weapon, so it turns into a 2/3, which we've said is all you want. And then there's some flavor text about Mastery 9 that is not going to happen without some pretty serious work. Now, the problem with this is that, yeah, this card's really good on turn 1. If you attack, you get a weapon, and now you've got a 2/3 that's eventually going to do some Mastery 9 things, maybe. It's an Oni, which is a relevant type, but this card is a very bad top deck if you don't have a way to activate Mastery 1 immediately, and it's certainly not going to do it by blocking, because you need to actually survive, so the 1 health sort of disqualifies that, and Oni are better at making other Oni deal more damage, but not at surviving combat, so you really need a way to work to get it through. It does, it's less effective overall than even something like an Oni Ronin, in addition to being less survivable and being a poor top deck. So it's not a card that I anticipate seeing a whole lot in constructed. We're going to have to wait to see what the actual constructed mastery cards are, but there's a lot of concern for these kinds of combat mechanics. The units need to be good enough to play by themselves without the mastery bonus, or the mastery bonus needs to be easily achievable within even a single hit.